Hi everybody and welcome to Budget with Tiffany. I'm Tiffany. I'm so excited to have you here today. I'm going to be doing my weekly reset where I do my cash unstuffing for the first week of May and do a cash stuffing for the second week of May. So let's jump in for the cash unstuffing. How is everybody doing today? I am filming this on Saturday. Normally I film on Friday, but Q's had her dental cleaning and ended up having to have a couple teeth pulled yesterday, and so I had to take her to the vet super early in the morning and then pick her up later in the afternoon, and then went and did a bunch of shopping, which will all be on next week's unstuffing. But yeah, so it was just kind of a busy day yesterday, and so went ahead and decided to film today. So up first for our weekly spending, we're starting out in our variable expense binder. So on Friday last week, I ended up just ordering some Chinese food from DoorDash for $56.49. And then on Wednesday, DJ and I went to a baseball game, and he ended up grabbing some food and a beer at the game, and of course ridiculously high prices at the game, so it was $39 for I think he got like a couple, it was like 3 tacos and then a beer, so yeah, so it was $95.49 and we are rounding up to $96. So we have $160, so I'm gonna put back 100 and take 4. So I've got $64. It was a lot of fun. So I grew up a Baltimore Orioles fan, and they were playing the Minnesota Twins, so we went and watched them, and unfortunately for me, the Twins swept the Orioles in all 3 of their games. But the game we were at was a lot of fun, and like if I'm not rooting for the Orioles, I root for the Twins. So like it's kind of a, either way, kind of was happy but sad that my team that I've grown up rooting for lost, but neither of them is doing that well this season. So I guess my team is just worse. So and then groceries, we had, it was $11.77 at Cub, $42.82 at Aldi, and $12 at the Co-op for $66.59, which I also rounded up. So it'll be 67, so 50, 70, and I'll take $3 back. So 50, 70, 85, 87, 88. That is it in this binder. Then in our home binder, I had kind of put together what's kind of like, I kind of call it an in case of emergency binder, but it's not really like for emergencies. It's more of like if something happened to me, DJ has like all of our account information, like not like the full account numbers because I don't really want that just sitting out for anybody to steal, but like has like where like our retirement accounts are, where our mortgage is and all that stuff. And I mean, he knows most of that stuff, but it's all kind of in one place. And then obviously if something happened to both of us, it's something, because it was being someone who does stuff related to like wills and trusts and stuff, most of the time people find out about what assets and debts and stuff that a person has by what comes in the mail, but more and more we get stuff just online in our email and stuff, and so you don't get anything in the mail, so it makes it a lot harder to know necessarily what people have and stuff. So I figured having like a place, and I was putting it in a 3-ring binder, but it was awkward and everything, and so I decided to get a letter size disc bound planner, or disc bound, yeah, binder type thing, and with some, and I bought some extra dividers and everything, and so I got that in the mail, and I actually need to get slightly larger rings. It came with 1-inch rings, but with all the papers and stuff, I think I'm gonna need like 1.5-inch rings, so I need to buy some new rings. But so that ended up being $62.12, and I'm rounding down to 62. And so let's take 100. So 100, actually 102 minus 62 gives us back 40. So now we've got 200, 300, 20, 40, 65, 66. 366, yes. And then we did pay our first half of our property taxes, and that was $1,713. So let me break one of these thousands for two 500s. Okay, and then so we got 1,500, 600, 700, and then 13, 10, 12, 13, and it was like and 12 cents, but I'm just rounding it down. So we have 500, 600, 700, and $5. So we'll need to have $1,713 again for October. And then up last in our longer term sinking funds binder, DJ bought some stuff to take to his track meet. It was $21.78, so I'm rounding up to 22, and of course I have 100. I'll give myself 78 back. So 50, 60, 75, 78. So we have 100, 200, 50, 70, 80, 95, 97, 98. So $298. He's actually at a track meet today. So, and then health, I bought, DJ's been having some sinus issues, so I bought some sinus medication. It was $9.49. I'm just gonna round up to 20 or to 10. I mean, so it's put in a 20 and take back 10. So we got 315. Yes. Okay, and I forgot to add up the totals, so let me speed you through. Okay, so it should be $1,968.59. We had $100 over here to make change. We got 1,500, 600, 700, 800, 900, so good start. 20, 30, 5, 45, 55, 57, 59, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. So yay, have the right amount. So let me set up for cash stuffing. So I'm gonna be doing both my regular weekly cash stuffing, and then I also got my Etsy payout. So I'm gonna do them as two separate things. So for our regular weekly, we've got 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 850, 870, 890, 910, 930, 950, 970, 990, 1,000, 10, 20, 30, 40, 55, 65, 75, 82, 84, 86, 88. So $1,088. Okay. So up first in our variable expense binder for dates, we did not, I mean, we did actually go out on a date, but I didn't use money from this envelope. So we're gonna take the $25 that we had put in last week that is above our rollover cap, set that aside, and then put in a new 25 for this coming week. So we still have 75. And I know people probably wonder like why I do that, but since I budget monthly, I don't necessarily know when I'm gonna spend money on dates or whatever. So like, and I have like a cap for several of these variable expense categories that like I don't want to roll over more than that to the next week. So for dates, it's $50 that I'll roll over, and then so anything I have above that gets taken out, and then I add in the stuffing, you know, what I was adding for the next week. So I'll roll over plus add in. Since I don't know, I don't want to not plan to put any money in there in case like we spend extra one week and falls below the amount, or I use all of it or something. So for eating out, we have 64, which is below our rollover, which is 100. So we're gonna keep all of this in here, and then I'm gonna add in $60 for this coming week. So we have 124. Groceries, we have 50, 70, 85, 87, 88. And 75 is our rollover. So I'm gonna take that, and then I'll take the 13 that we had above that and take that out. And then I'm gonna add in $80 for this coming week. So we've got 50, 100, 20, 40, 55. So 155. My food for me to grab lunch at work when I'm in the office, and occasionally I do, but I try not to all the time. So I did not spend this week. I was actually only in the office twice this week because I was off yesterday, so I only needed to go in 2 days instead of 3 days. So I'm gonna take that out and then add in 15 for this coming week. And then spending, we're adding 10. So we got 50, 70, 80, 90, 100. And then for our long-term savings challenges, let me grab our Friday challenge from Becca at Becca Budget 777. And we are adding $9 in today. So we got 100, 200, 250, 270, 280, 5, 87, 89, 91, 93, 94. So 294 out of 841. So making pretty good progress. And then up next, also from Becca at Becca Budget 777, is our Save 2025 in 2025. And we are gonna do $47 today, and we're gonna do 21, 15, 2, and 9. Again, we're adding 47. So now we've got 100, 200, 50, 270, 290, 310, 330, 340, 5, 52, 54, 55. So 355. And then up last in here, we're doing our 10,000, Save 10,000 challenge from Amazing Ally Co. And we're gonna do $265 in here today. We are doing the 125 and 140. We're working on section 3 already, so super excited about that. So this section saves us 900, and so far we've got 100, 200, 300, 350, 365. So not halfway, but we've also saved the bigger numbers for the end. Okay, and then let's see. In my Mini Mondays, we are adding $50. In my debt binder, we're adding 200. Our long-term savings challenge binder, we're doing 282. So 100, 200, 250, 270, 282. Our newest binder is going to be our month ahead binder, and we already had some money that we put in here from previous weeks, rollover money and things like that. So for this coming week, we are adding 53. So 40, or no, we're adding 45, sorry. So we got $45. And then plus the 53, that should be this from our, what we didn't spend. So 20, 30, 45, 52, 53. So also add that in here. Now we can turn to our Etsy cash stuffing. So this, for the month of, mostly for the month of April, there was a few days at the beginning of May that, because I don't get paid out until the first Monday of May, so anything I earn that first few days of May gets lumped in here. But so for last month I got paid 50, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 30, 40, 55, 65, 75, 77, 79, 81, 83, 85, 87, 88, 89, 90. So $290. Thank you all very much for ordering from me. I truly appreciate it. And hashtag ad, I am running a sale for the month of May. Everything is 20% off. So if you have been eyeing something and you want to buy it, it's probably be a good time to do so. So let me grab my business binder. So up first, we're gonna add $25 to equipment. So we have $50 in here now. And I kind of had depleted this when I bought my ticket to go to the budgeting convention. HP ink, adding 8. So we got 10, 15, 22, 24, 26, 27. Oh, give me a couple months worth of money to pay for HP ink. Materials, we're adding 25, which I depleted, so starting over, but since I just bought a bunch of materials to make savings challenges, I hopefully shouldn't have to buy anything for a while. PO box is fully funded. Shipping, we're gonna add $7. So now we've got 10, 15, 17, 19, 20. Mostly right now I'm using shipping to pay for, I've done several giveaways and I have a few more giveaways that I want to do. And so I've been paying for shipping out of that because Etsy shipping gets taken out of the money before I get the payout. So shop small, I mostly depleted this in April, so I had a whole $1 left. So we're gonna add 39. So we got 20, 35, 37, 39, $40. Try to keep myself at a cap of I can only spend $40 on savings challenges in any given month. At least I try to. Taxes, we are adding 72, which is 25% of what I received. So 50, 72. So now we've got 100, 200, 22, 24, 25. So 225. YouTube Premium, I'm adding 13. So we got 10, 25, 27, 29, 31. And then I'm adding $41 to have extra into our debt binder, so 41. And then I forgot to bring my travel binder over, but the other $60 I'm gonna take and put towards $30 for next week's travel binder when I play in that, and then $30 for the 5th week of the month. So, so I will set that aside, but so that is everything. Just glancing around, making sure I have nothing else. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.